For more than 2 centuries, the galaxy believed humans no longer existed. They were mentioned only in old documents, forgotten archives, and half-truth military warnings. Stories described humans as dangerous thinkers, creators of unstoppable machines, and warriors who never surrendered. Many believed those stories were exaggerated. Some leaders even said humans were nothing more than an old myth. But everything changed on the day a strange signal was detected from Sector X-47, the most silent and abandoned location in known space. Multiple scanners picked up the same signal. It was not random electricity or natural space radiation. It was structured. It had rhythm. It was coded. Someone was transmitting intentionally. Admiral V. Thoron of the Zark Federation was the first to respond. He commanded the largest fleet ever built, nearly 500 warships. His advisors suggested ignoring the signal. They said it might be a malfunction. But V. Thoron was curious, and curiosity is dangerous when connected to human history. The fleet traveled to Sector X-47. When their ships arrived, every soldier expected nothing more than broken metal and forgotten ruins. Instead, scanners detected life. Not a colony. Not a community. One single life form. Standing alone. Standing openly. Not hiding. Not afraid. And strangely, the life signature was human. A real human. The entire command deck fell silent. Every officer stared at the screen, thinking there must be a reading error. Humans should not exist. Every record showed they vanished hundreds of years ago, after a final devastating war. The fleet searched thoroughly. Across damaged asteroids. Across silent wrecked satellites. Across digital dust. Until the scanners locked onto one figure standing on the surface of a derelict station. He wore no armor, no survival suit. His hair was short, his clothing simple, like someone who had traveled through broken time. His face was calm. His eyes did not show panic. His name came through the signal clearly. Orion Hail. The galaxy would soon whisper that name with fear. Vithoron started a message broadcast. His voice echoed through open space. You are surrounded. Identify yourself. But Orion did not respond. He simply turned his head toward the fleet, like a man acknowledging unwanted guests. Then something began happening beneath his feet. The broken tiles of the station shifted, folding inward as if the structure was alive. The station walls opened around him. Old dust rose into space like fading smoke. Underneath that collapsed surface was something far more terrifying. A massive object rested below, silent, untouched, and glowing weakly. It was not built like any modern-day machine. Its surface had no screws, no wires, no weld lines. It looked like a solid piece of metal carved from another dimension. At that moment, the scanners of all 500 warships malfunctioned at once. Their monitors flashed symbols that no one recognized. Their engine readings dropped. Their weapon cores flickered. Soldiers panicked. Technicians screamed. Admirals demanded explanations. But Orion stood still, unaffected by the terror. The object beneath him expanded, unfolding like a mechanical flower. A blinding blue light spread outward. Every ship's window tinted automatically to protect its crew. This was no ordinary machine. This was a human relic. A forbidden relic. One of the last mysteries humanity left behind. Orion finally spoke through radio transmission. His voice was calm and slow. You should not have come here. Those words did not sound threatening, but they shook every officer inside their suits. Coldness crawled down their spines. Crews glanced at each other, knowing this meeting was not simple. The relic beneath Orion began to rise. Space around it twisted like bending water. A colossal ship lifted from the ruins, a structure shaped like a silver blade. Not powered by engines, not emitting heat. It simply hovered. A command ship officer whispered, trembling. That cannot be human-built. Another voice answered. Only humans could build something like that. Orion stepped forward, standing at the center of the rising vessel. His silhouette was sharp against the bright light. When the fleet locked weapons, Orion raised only one hand, not to fight, but to activate something older than memory. The relic ship awakened fully. Stars dimmed. Engines across 500 warships shut down without warning. And that was the moment the galaxy realized. They were not hunting a human. They had disturbed the most feared being ever recorded. Orion Hail. A human guardian. A living reminder of everything the galaxy wanted to forget. And for the first time in centuries, 500 warships understood fear. The moment Orion Hail's relic ship awakened, a silent wave spread outward. Sensors crashed. Target locks broke. Communication channels filled with static. The fleet was not ready. 500 commanders tried re-establishing control, but nothing responded. The relic ship rose fully into space. No fuel burn. No thrusters. No sound. It moved like a floating shard of frozen lightning, guided by invisible forces. Its surface glowed faintly, revealing symbols that reshaped themselves every second, as if the ship was alive and constantly rewriting its own language. Inside the Zark flagship, officers panicked. Reboot navigation. We are losing propulsion. Shields are collapsing. Admiral V. Thoron did not move. He stared at Orion, the lone human standing in a storm of fear. Then, everything changed. A sudden flash erupted from the relic ship, but it was not a weapon. It was something quieter, more precise. Every warship engine shut down completely. Power died like someone switched off the galaxy. Hundreds of massive engines, silent in space. Only Orion's ship still glowed. The admiral clenched his jaw and gave one direct command. Fire. His warships did not have engines. But they still had long-range artillery and energy cannons. So the fleet obeyed. 500 ships released full firepower. The explosion lit space like a new sun. Metal fragments burst across the void. The blast shook moons. Smaller escort ships drifted backward. Soldiers inside warships fell from their seats. When the light finally faded, Orion's ship still stood. Completely untouched. No shield wave. No counterattack. No damage. Just silence. Officers froze. Their minds refused to accept what they saw. One soldier whispered, almost afraid to breathe. That was impossible. The admiral repeated the order. Fire again. They fired. The same outcome. When the smoke cleared again, nothing had changed. It was as if the galaxy fired at a ghost. Orion finally spoke. His voice echoed through every ship, not through radio, but directly in the mind. You fired upon a defensive archive. Your intent has been recorded. Soldiers trembled. Admirals lost composure. The ships did not respond, but Orion's relic responded for them. Small spark-like orbs separated from the ship, tiny blue lights drifting toward the disabled fleet. The fleet assumed it was an attack, but the lights simply touched each warship gently. And the entire fleet powered down fully. Weapons disabled. Ammunition disarmed. Guidance systems neutralized. In less than 30 seconds, 500 warships turned into floating metal statues. Every captain tried emergency restart protocols. Nothing worked. Their systems now displayed a new symbol. Authority block, human archive. The galaxy now had its greatest fear confirmed. Human technology was not lost. It was simply sleeping. Just then, the relic ship vanished. Not teleporting. Not accelerating. It faded from physical reality like vapor dissolving into nothing. The fleet scanned desperately. The relic reappeared behind them. 500 warships now faced their enemy from the wrong direction. How did it move? No warp burst. No space fold. No signal trace. It broke every scientific rule every academy taught. Admiral V. Thoron gritted his teeth. "Who are you?" Orion's reply arrived calmly. "One who stayed behind." His tone was not angry. He did not threaten. He did not warn. And that frightened everyone more. Suddenly, the relic ship pulsed. Not as an attack, but as access. Ship screens unlocked, revealing ancient transmissions. Video archives unfolded. Every captain, every commander, every soldier saw one truth. The Empire once attacked Earth. Not for survival. Not for war. But because humans refused to share their technology. Humanity never lost the battle. Instead, they exiled themselves. Orion remained as a single guardian, monitoring the galaxy. Until the day humans returned. Now 500 warships floated silent. Their crews completely powerless. Watching one man decide their fate. Orion did not destroy them. He simply said, "You are free to leave. Do not return." And before anyone could answer, the relic vanished again. Gone. Without a trace. The fleet stared at the empty space. The codes on their screens remained for hours. Clear, undeniable, terrifying. Last human protocol activated. The fleet returned home in shame. 500 warships left at full strength, yet not a single ship came back with working weapons. News spread like fire. Broadcasts replayed every detail. Every government struggled to suppress the truth, but the soldiers, frightened and shaken, told everything. Soon the galaxy discovered the name. Orion Hail. Some species called him the last mistake of history. Others called him the beginning of a new age. Governments gathered in emergency sessions. Scientists attempted to decode the strange symbols that had appeared across the disabled warships. They thought it would take months. Instead, the encryption dissolved into readable text on its own, as if the human system wanted to be understood. The message was frightening. Guardian Record, Orion Hail. Assigned Cycle, 4127. Task, maintain archive stability until return. Authority, unlimited. Unlimited authority. One word destroyed every government's confidence. Federation senators argued. Military leaders demanded extreme preparation. Civilian networks released dramas, interviews, speculations. Many asked, how could one human control a ship older than civilization? No one knew. No one understood. But something else happened, deeper and more dangerous. Civilian curiosity awakened. Old files resurfaced. Records hidden for centuries began appearing publicly. Long before the Empire ruled, humans controlled technology that frightened every other species. They were not strongest physically, not tallest, not fastest. But humans built machines that could think. Machines that could reshape planets. Machines even older than Orion's relic. That technology was not lost. It was sealed. Document logs revealed that the Empire once raided Earth, not because humans attacked first, but because humans refused to share their most powerful machines. Leaders feared what humans could do if they continued advancing. So humanity did something unimaginable. They left. Not fleeing. Not hiding. They moved beyond the known border of the universe. Galactic scientists debated endlessly about it. Beyond the border meant a region where space behaved differently. Time flowed unevenly. Physics twisted. Communication collapsed. Why would humanity go there? Theories rose. To build something greater. To evolve differently. To return when necessary. And now, Orion's awakening meant that moment was near. Meanwhile, strange events started happening across the galaxy. Old ruins began activating. Buried chambers opened by themselves. Dead satellites started transmitting coordinates. All ancient structures pointed toward Orion's last location. Soon historians discovered something terrifying: Orion was not the first guardian. There had been others before him. Every guardian had stood watch for centuries. Some of their relics lay dormant under oceans, inside meteor rings, beneath collapsed moons. Those relics now woke one by one. One planet called Istriel reported a mountain splitting open, revealing a metallic vault. Another star system found 3 moon-sized rings orbiting without any gravitational source. Every discovery carried the same insignia: the human sigil. People panicked. Markets crashed. Religious groups formed worship circles. Some military commanders gave orders to relocate their families to isolated sectors. A senator publicly declared, "This is human judgment. They will conquer us again." But the truth was different. They were never conquered. They had only lived in borrowed time. On the 7th rotation cycle, everything changed. A transmission appeared simultaneously on every screen, every device, every broadcast tower, from the deepest mining shafts to the royal military halls. It was Orion. He stood on the bridge of his relic ship, silent, serious. His words were simple. Do not fear. Humanity does not return to destroy. But what comes next cannot be undone. His voice faded. Then the actual transmission began. A star map unfolded, slowly rotating. The route pointed outside galactic charts. Scientists tried mapping it, but the coordinates stretched beyond normal spatial models. Stars reshaped themselves digitally, forming an arrow. Every person watching understood. Humans were returning. Not as scattered individuals, but as an entire civilization. Empires sent fleets to follow the trail, but ships malfunctioned halfway. Space bent. Routes changed. Gravity folded. Only one ship made it through, Orion's. And for the first time in recorded history, the galaxy knew. One human could move where no empire could. One human commanded technology no fleet could copy. One human was proof. Humanity was never defeated. Never extinct. Never forgotten. They were simply preparing. And they were almost back. Weeks passed, then months, yet the galaxy remained restless. Every race waited for humanity's return, though no one knew what that return meant. Fear rose. Curiosity grew. Religion formed around Orion's presence. Scholars debated ancient theories again. But the galaxy soon realized something strange. The stars themselves were shifting. Maps updated daily, and space seemed to move like a living structure. Navigation routes bent. Asteroid belts aligned perfectly. Even dead planets began receiving unknown energy pulses. And then it happened. The first wormhole tore open. It did not look like any known portal. It did not twist space, nor did it bend light. Instead, the void separated, like curtains being moved apart. A golden tear shaped itself across the blackness. Every sensor went offline, not because of failure, but because nothing in known science could measure what was forming. Then they saw it. A ship emerged, not built from metal, not shaped like anything logical. It was almost organic, its surface shifting with an inner glow. It was the size of a continent, with full cities visible through its transparent layers. Green fields. Bodies of water. Moving shadows of people. Not machines. Not algorithms. Living humans. The galaxy held its breath. But that was only the beginning. A second ship followed. Then another. Then another. Soon there were dozens. Then hundreds. Massive superstructures shaped like drifting worlds, each carrying human populations. No thrusters. No visible engines. They glided as if the universe itself cleared a path. Broadcast signals activated across all systems automatically. No one connected them. No one opened channels. The message forced its way into communication networks. We have returned for our guardian. The voice was not angry. Not loud. Not threatening. It sounded like someone speaking with responsibility. Galactic leaders gathered in virtual council. They issued warnings. They prepared defensive formations. They repositioned warships. But everyone remembered what happened when one human was present. Now entire fleets had arrived. Every empire lowered shields. Not by choice. But because they understood resistance was pointless. And then Orion's relic ship appeared again. This time, it was different. It glowed brighter. More symbols flowed along its surface. The ship positioned itself between human world ships and the smaller alien fleets. Orion stepped forward on a holographic platform visible to billions. He looked older, not physically, but in presence, like someone carrying an ancient duty finally completed. The lead world ship sent its message. You served longer than required, Orion hail. Everyone froze. They realized something. He was not just guarding the galaxy. He was waiting. Waiting for them. Orion bowed slightly, not an act of obedience, but respect. Cycle completed. The returning human spoke again. Then we welcome you home. Step aboard. The galaxy expected Orion to demand justice, revenge, or punishment. Instead, he made a statement that silenced history. No war will happen. No empire will fall. Your systems remain yours. But learn from today, never repeat the past. Billions watched. And for the first time since his appearance, he turned away. The relic ship opened, becoming a gateway leading into one of the world ships. He walked forward. As Orion entered, the relic behind him dissolved like sand into the ship's body, becoming part of it again. The moment his foot crossed inside, every dormant human relic across the galaxy shut down. Vaults sealed. Devices powered off. Mountains closed. The lesson was clear. Everything existed only because Orion remained. With his role completed, those relics no longer needed to stand guard. The world ships shifted formation. Their light intensified. Then the golden tier reopened, and one by one, they phased through it, no acceleration, no physical thrust. Reality simply accepted their departure. Before the final ship vanished, a single message remained broadcast to the galaxy. Grow with honor. When we meet again, be worthy of the path ahead. And just like that, they disappeared. The tear closed. Stars returned to normal. Gravity stabilized. Silence filled space. Some races celebrated survival. Some cried, realizing their world had changed forever. Governments signed peace pacts overnight. Military systems rewrote threat indexes. Children learned a new lesson in schoolbooks. One human returned. One human waited. One human spoke. And the galaxy obeyed. Humanity had not come back to rule. Not to conquer. Not to reclaim land. They came to retrieve their guardian, the human the galaxy feared, and left the universe with a promise. When humanity returns again, it will not be to warn, but to lead.